Hey, what's up everybody? Joey Two Fly Perez. Usually I'm gaming, but today I'm going to be setting up a pool for my daughter. We have a community pool in the area, but it's always so busy, and when I'm not gaming and I'm not streaming, I'm working a lot, you know what I mean? So her mom is super busy. She takes care of everybody in this house, and so we came up with the idea of just getting her a small pool so she could be at the comfort of her house and she could swim with her friends when they're here without having to get all the hustle and bustle of going down to the community pool. We're still going to use it, but we got this. So let's take a look at what we got going on. Okay, so what I've done is I've put blankets underneath this tarp to create a little bit soft touch underneath the pool. And the reason I've done that is because we're in the desert. I don't have grass yet. We're working on this backyard, but for now this summer, this is what we did. So we got a tarp, laid it over the blankets. First thing you want to do is you want to get this blown up with a ring around it. It's got to be pretty tight. I'm going to put a little bit more air in it. It's a little bit hard when you're first doing it. You want to make sure you have enough room. Okay guys, so here's the next piece of equipment, okay? This is going to be your filter, and this is just a two-way. So a lot of other people will have the two set. This is just a two-way. So we don't have where it's on top. What they've done is they put one on each side. So you have a top, which you're going to remember, the top of this T hose right here goes to the top of this air filter with the hoses, okay? It comes with these two filters. Some of y'all's won't come like this. Some of them will actually be put apart, like they're not going to be already assembled. All you got to do is right here, you put this bottom piece in here, you twist it on, and then there's a little screw that you're going to screw in, and these are your two filters. Really important, these are going to go in the pool, okay? These are your clamps. These are what's going to clamp the hose around all the hoses, right? So it's a hose clamp, kind of very similar to like a plumbing setup. You get quite a bit of those, and so let's go ahead and start putting that together. Real quick guys, if you're not going to use the pump, and this is like a one-day thing, it comes with these little plungers that you would just stick into the pool rather than putting the pump through. But we're gonna do the pump because we're gonna probably use this all summer long, okay? Great. So over here, you're gonna have 3 holes. You're gonna have one like that. If you guys can see that, let me flip this around. You have one right there. And as you go down, you'll see your other one. And last but not least, you'll see your third one. We're gonna do the two right hoses first. So when we're doing the 2 right hoses, what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna grab the 2 shorter ones. And the 2 shorter ones are gonna connect into the right and the left side of that T. So let's go ahead and connect it to the T right away and get that set up. Okay, so remember, this is the T. And so you have these little rubber washers on here. This is what's gonna seal the water. You don't want these to come out of place. They're pretty well put on, but just for safety, if you see it like pop off or whatever, start all over again, take your time and do it correctly, okay? So you're just gonna kind of get it, and you're gonna slowly twist it on, and then it has a little notch, and that's where it captures right there. But I'm gonna push it, well, I'm just gonna leave it there because we have the clamps for these, okay? Now, these have a little bend in them. Obviously, you can bend it however you want, but they already have a bend. So you wanna twist these to move towards the pool. That way you don't have to do too much changing of the direction of where you're gonna go. It doesn't really matter because they're movable, but work smarter, not harder, people, right? Cool, right? So there we go. We got the T on, right? And last but not least, we're gonna put one of the long hoses right here, okay? So this one's extra long, and we're gonna just put it on right here, just like that, okay? Now we're gonna open up these clamps, and we're gonna put them on. They're gonna come in little packets. So each clamp looks like this, and they come with a washer. You're gonna go around the hose, put it through to where it clamps, and then you're gonna put this wing nut on there, and that's what's gonna hold the clamp tight. So let's do that on all 3 sides of the T. And it's pretty much made to go right behind that rubber section with this bulge. Just FYI guys, while this is happening, this is a quick set pool, but it doesn't mean like it's gonna fill up in like 10 or 20 minutes. It's probably gonna take a good hour to fill up with that much water. And then setup's gonna take you probably a good 30 to 40 minutes after watching this video. So what I've done is on one side, I have 2 washers pointing away, and the 3rd washer will be pointing this way. That way I have room to twist without everything being, you know, crowded. Okay, so we got this all connected. Short sides go on the bottom of the T. Long hose goes to the top of the T. As you can see on the back, I have 2 washers pointing away from me, and I have 1 washer pointing behind me, just so we don't get crowded. We're gonna go to the pool. the short hoses on left and right of the T, they're gonna go to the far right holes, and the farthest left hole is gonna be for this top hose. So we'll go ahead and do the top hose first because that's what's gonna actually connect to the water filter. Okay, so you should have this part right here, and you should have this part right here, okay? Those are gonna go on the on the right side holes. The furthest left hole does not get one of these, okay? Okay, so you have your filter right here. You have a bottom spout and you have a top spout. The long hose is gonna go to the top spout. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble that real quick. FYI, look right here. You can see that rubber washer moved when I was doing it. So we're gonna pull it off and we're gonna do it again. Okay, so this time it got on, as you can see, all the way around. It's all within this trim. All you got to do is approach it slowly, twist back and forth, and take your time, because if you move it fast, you're going to push it off and then your pump's going to leak. We don't want that. We're going to go ahead and put a clamp right here. Okay, so that's turned on. Twisted on, right? This clamp. And again, you want to put this washer away from everything rather than being on top and hitting this edge right here. You want to put it in an area that's going to be easy to work, because later you're going to have to take all of this off at some point. So next, what we're going to do is this bottom spout is going to go to the far left outlet. The far left outlet right there, and we're going to go ahead and put that on. All right, guys, so there's another piece of equipment. It looks just like this. This is going to go on the inside of the pool. And this round part right here is where the T-clamp is going to go through on this rubber hole. And this is the far left side. So we're going to go ahead and push that through, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so we have this clamp on, and it's pushed through that rubber part. And on the inside, this is on the inside of the pool. And now we're just going to clamp that down. Okay, so we have the other really long hose. We're gonna put that onto the part we just put onto the pool, clamp it down, and then the other side will go to the bottom part of the pump. See, the top goes to the T, but the bottom goes straight to the pool right here, okay? Okay, so we got the long hose on right there. I tried to shove it back on this piece as far as possible before I put that clamp on. In this scenario, I would advise putting the clamp on the side closest to these ridges rather than on the back end, because you got a lot of play here and a lot to grab on. However, you get it's pretty firm right here on the back, so I just changed my mind. I'm gonna put it on the back, because if you give this a squeeze right here, if you give this portion a squeeze, you can tell that's the end of the hose, but right here at the back it's real solid. So we're gonna put the clamp right there. Okay, so that's what it looks like with the clamp on. And now we're gonna come over here to the pump and repeat the same process on this bottom portion of the pump. All right, we're all done with that. And now we gotta repeat the clamp setup for left and right side to B to the B outlets right here, okay? So let's go do that real quick. Now remember, we're gonna push this through on the pool side on both of those B outlets, because this stem right here is where you're gonna put the clamp through. So it should look just like that right there, and inside the pool like that. So let's go ahead and grab the hose and clamp it down. And there we go, clamped it down, and let's do the other side. All right, other side done. We got all of our connections done. So let's go ahead and fill it up. And there you go, guys, is the finished shaded area. Give us a like, subscribe, and share. I hope this helps you guys put together your guys' pool quick, fast, in a hurry.